Okay everybody, today on this video, grab your coffee, grab your iced tea, grab whatever drink that you like to drink. This video may take a while. What I'm going to attempt to do today is bring you up to date on the court case that the village's developer and his land company has brought against what they call the rogue village's real estate people that quit and left. And I will read you stories. I got it set up here, direct from the village's news, direct from local newspapers and things, not the village's Daily Sun, because that's owned by the developer, and the only thing that goes in there are things that he wants in there. It's a one-sided newspaper. I don't go with that stuff. So I'm going to give you both the inside and the outside information that's available to me to get you caught up. You may not even know about this lawsuit, but let's go. A little bit of this update is the developer took these people to court, the people that left the villages, and they went to, I'll call local court. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know all the names of all the inside and outside stuff. Those of you that are lawyers, I'm sure you can put it in the comment box below. And they went to, I'll say, local court, the county seat, whatever, and the village's developer and his company lost that case. The so-called rogue real estate people, and I'll have names and I'll have pictures I'll bring up here as this video goes on, and you'll see who they are. They won that case. It was a huge victory. It was probably very surprising to the developer and his companies to have lost that case, but they did. Then they have appealed the case, probably, I guess that's the proper word, and now it's going to court, which is in Ocala. That's coming up soon. I don't know, maybe it's in the articles and I'll read them to you the best I can. I don't know if this is the last ditch effort to overturn the local court decision or not, but anyway, that's where it's heading and that's where it's going to go. Okay, we're going to start here. Jennifer Parr to testify in trial involving a breakaway sales representative. Village's Vice President Jennifer Parr will take the stand in April in a federal trial involving former properties of the village's sales representatives who broke away to form their own competing real estate venture. I'll bring Jennifer Parr's picture up either in this corner or this corner. Somewhere I'll bring it up and you can see it. Parr, the daughter of late Gary Moore and mother of television star Megan Boone, is on a witness list that reads like a who's who, Florida's friendliest hometown. Let me make fun of that again. Florida's friendliest hometown. And they're suing people. They can't get the rules enforced around here because it's Florida's friendliest hometown, but if you cross them in a little bit, it's going to cost them $1 or $2. They'll sue you. I'm sorry. I don't want to sound like I'm being critical, but I kind of am. Properties of the Villages is suing a former top producers, Christopher Day, I'll bring their pictures up here also, and Jason Krantz, who left in December 2019 to form Next Home KD Premier Realty. Properties of the Villages claims the former sales representatives were still bound by independent contractor agreements that included non-compete clauses. The Villages claims the non-compete period of 2 years is reasonable. Well, it is, but just let me say, because I don't know if this article will bring it up, so while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to bring it up. So if they do bring it up in here, it'll sound like I'm repeating myself. It's because I've not read this before. So I'm just kind of bringing you up to date. The people that broke away, they are contract labor. That part I can understand because I had a trucking company. My drivers were contract labor. Well, they broke away saying they were treated more like employees. They were ordered to do things like when you come down for a lifestyle visit, they're ordered that they have to take care of you. They're assigned to somebody coming down for a lifestyle visit. And whatever your desires are, to drive you around, show you around. The whole idea here is to get you to buy a house. And things like that. Set you up with a golf tee time if you want to play golf while you're here on a lifestyle visit. Things like that. Well, and I guess also on a tour bus. some of the people on the tour buses that are explaining about this over here and that over there. If you haven't done a tour, I say do it. Get a coat, go do it. If you've never been here before, you're going to get a lot out of that tour bus, and it's absolutely free. So anyway, I guess the person that's riding on that bus that's talking about the tour guide, so to speak, they are sometimes real estate people that work for the Villages Realty Company, and they're ordered that they have to do that. So if we're in a car with one of those people on a lifestyle visit, and you want to go, say, to the Finney area and look around at the new building construction stuff, they take you down and drive around. This is in their personal car, and they don't get reimbursed for their time, nor do they get reimbursed for, I guess, gas, all that stuff. In some cases, I think in real estate companies, that's kind of normal, that because their whole idea is to get you to sign on the dotted line, and then that's when that real estate person gets reimbursed for his commission when that gets done. You could say it's the price you pay. And I'm probably getting ahead of myself here, but I can't imagine a developer and the net worth that they have and the team of attorneys that works for them, that, how do you put it, that their ass wasn't covered here. But that being said, they did lose the first round at court. Okay, let's go on. Following is the language of the non-compete clause. Defendants shall not directly or indirectly engage in and shall have no interest in any business or entity, whether as an owner, shareholder, member, employee, agent, consultant, contractor, or other affiliate of any kind. This is in any way involved with the sale, marketing, leasing, management, or the closing of sales transaction of real estate situated within the geographic area known as the Villages community as it exists at the time of termination of this agreement. The restricted area. See, if this was a court case and I was sitting in a juror's box, I'd look at that and go, well, that's not enforceable. I mean, you're telling me that if a guy who works for one real estate company and he quits, that he's not allowed to go get another job at the real estate company in that area and make a living? See, I'd question that part of it. But it's also, the language of that is all legal mumbo jumbo. That sounds exactly like something that a lawyer would write to try to cover their bases, you know. That, in other words, what they're saying is if you quit, you got to move out of town. You got to go away. You know, I'm not sure how they can enforce that, because as a pre-owned home, which these people would have to sell pre-owned homes, they can't sell new homes. That's just the way that's set up. I think I can hire any real estate company I want to. The developer has no say-so about that whatsoever. And to be honest with you, I have always done business with the Villages Real Estate Company in every house I've owned here. Always. I've always felt like they done me a good job. And if you buy a home and sell a home here, and I don't know if they still do it, but once upon a time anyway, they used to give you cash, a 1% kickback. So if you had a home, say a $200,000 home, and you sold it and then bought another home, say a $300,000 home, they gave you a 1% kickback on the $200,000 home. So the realtor would come knocking on, the sales agent would come knocking on your door and hand you a check for $2,000. Not a lot, but hey, you know, it's cool. And that's the way it used to be. Check on that, because I don't keep up with this. Day and Krant contend property of the Villages fears competition. I don't know if they fear it or they're just protecting it. They and other former properties of the Villages representatives who joined them at KD Premier Realty carried a heavy load of mandatory meetings, open houses, trolley rides, and other duties while working for the Villages. They claim they were treated more like employees than independent contractors. Krantz claims that property of the Villages owes him $245,952 in unpaid overtime. Yeah, this is what I've heard before, that they make you do all this stuff like for nothing. Day claims he is owed $266,084 in overtime. Parr's name appears on a list of witness to be called in the case to be heard in U.S. District Court in Ocala. U.S. District Court. Okay, I'm just going to read you what it says. U.S. District Court in Ocala. Also on the list are her brother, Mark Morse, Gary Morse's widow, Renee Morse, Tracy Morse's daughter, Lindsay Blaze, who had Citizens First Bank, Mike Birding of Properties of the Villages, who also serves on the Sumter Landing Community Development District Supervisors Villages Charter School Director Randy McDaniel, Villages High School Athletic Director Richard Pettis, I'm going to say Pettis, Villages Vice President for Community Relations Gary Lester, I'm just going to say it, I wouldn't trust him any further than I could throw him, and Dale Barrowman, who heads the Villages Technology Solutions Group. I don't know Dale, but I know what the technology stuff is around here. Dale, I'm just going to say he's like this side of a genius to get all this stuff to tie together, really. Or highly educated, obviously, which provides internet and other technology services via no-bid contracts to the Villages District Office and Sumter County. You can see the complete list of potential witnesses at these links. I'm not going to make you go to them links. I'm going to provide you with a copy of those lists somewhere here. Okay, I'm going to read a little more. This is another update on the lawsuit from the other side. I read you the lawsuit from Jennifer Parr and the Villages side. This is the contention of the ex-sales representatives on the other side. A dozen boxes left behind by a husband and wife sales team are the latest point of contention in the lawsuit between Properties of the Villages and former sales representatives who's gone rogue. Jason and Angela Krantz announced in an email to their colleagues in December 2019 that they were leaving Properties of the Villages and had joined fellow former top producer Christopher Day in the Next Home KD Premier Realty venture. Properties of the Villages is suing the breakaway sales representatives, claiming they were still bound by independent contractor agreements that included non-compete clauses as an April trial date approaches in U.S. District Court in Ocala. The Villages last week brought on attorney John Lauro of Fox News Legal Analysis, and I'll try to put a picture of him up here. However, the defendants are hoping to push the trial back at least June due to the January 29 admission by Properties of the Villages that it has a dozen boxes left behind in the office of Jason and Angela Krantz. An attorney representing the couple has indicated that the boxes might contain documents important to the upcoming trial, and there are questions as to why Property of the Villages at the 11th hour disclosed that it has the boxes. Properties of the Villages has put together an index of what materials were found in the boxes. According to the index, the boxes hold Properties of the Villages listing contracts and related real estate transaction documents, marketing materials, map, business cards, certificates, customer satisfaction surveys, a bottle of wine, and promotional materials such as t-shirts and tumblers. Properties of the Villages attorney Patrick Muldowney said in an email that the boxes had been left in an office the couple was using, and shortly after their departure the boxes were moved into a storage room at Properties of the Villages. These are your client's boxes that they left behind. It was their responsibility, not our client. They sort through the boxes and return any improperty, and it says to sort through the boxes and return any proprietary information to Properties of the Villages, but they did not do so. Instead, they intentionally left behind a disorganized mess and made no attempt to have our business records filed in the appropriate place. Clearly, they have no interest in those documents then, and truthfully have no interest in them now. Muldowney wrote in the email this past Tuesday to attorney Christopher Prater of the Pollard Law Firm. In a response, Prater pointed out that Properties of the Villages has had possession of the boxes all this time and said Jason and Angela are not at fault. Efforts to shift the blame from your client's failure to comply with its discovery obligation should stop, Prater wrote in an email. KD Premier Realty continues to enjoy success, recently honored with the Diamond Pinnacle Office Award, recognizing that the real estate firm firm was in the top 25% of next home offices in the country for 2020. So as you can see, the arguing continues, the lawsuits continue, and I'll do my best to keep you updated. And like I say, I'll get a picture of the Fox News guy they hired. Fox News usually comes down every year. Lake Sumter Landing is set up, and they have like a, I don't know, 2-day Fox News program they do down there. I don't think I've been here for a couple of years now because of political upheaval and then the COVID virus. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to try to edit this the best that I can to make it as understandable to you as possible. I'll include the pictures. I'll include the witness list. Hope you enjoy it, and we'll keep an eye on it. It's time to move on with this. They've been through this before. When they went to the IRS lawsuit about that, they came out pretty good on that. I think they did settle, but they came out pretty good on that. And then they had a lawsuit many years ago up north where they were sued for something I forget. And that one they lost big time. They had to write a check, I think, for $40 million on that one. You guys can Google all these lawsuits. So this isn't nothing new. So they'll handle it, I'm sure, the best that they can. And with that, I'm going to say, see you on the other side.